So is this, you can see, or is it just side of my head,
Yeah.
or like this, or
Yeah.
or not?
Either way. Yeah, you're good right there.
Great. I feel like I'm very close. You ready? Oh, is that already started too? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm good.
So, what brings you in today?
Well, I want to talk about, I started substituting in Anne Arundel County, and so I'm trying to find, the work-life balance, because I'm still in school and everything. So I've been trying to find, the work-life balance. I feel like I stress myself out, a lot. I have anxiety, I would say. Kind of low-grade anxiety, since I've had since I was, in school. School just stresses me out. So I'm trying to find, different ways to kind of not cope with it, but just kind of, I guess, cope with it, just make myself less anxious and everything, and just trying to find the balance, I would say.
So, how are you feeling now?
I feel good. It's when I'm in school and work at the same time. It's trying to get everything for school done. Finding time.
So, the question in regards to how are you feeling now is just a general question, just to kind of get a baseline. So, what did you have to do today? What did your day look like today?
Today I had to, this morning I worked on a presentation for my counseling class this morning. And so I live in Anne Arundel County near Annapolis, so I drove about an hour from there to here and, to Mount Airy and then to here, and then I prepared for a project that I'm working on, prepared some more. So I feel like my life is just school, and everything.
And so, what is your desire coming in today for counseling?
I guess not really school. I just seem to be an anxious person, I would say, and school heightens that. So it's trying to find a lower level of anxiety. I don't expect it to disappear, but just a lower level, and because I feel like my mind just goes and goes and goes, especially when I go to sleep and everything. I'm just thinking about what I need to do with school and just to get through the next day and everything.
So, if you had a goal, that goal would look like being able to lessen the amount of anxiety that you have connected to school and balancing school and work.
And then having time with family and friends and kind of moving all together instead of saying I can't, I have school work or homework or I have a substituting today.
So, is there a place that you would like to start? You mentioned personal life, family, friends. You mentioned school, and you mentioned work. Where would you like to start?
I would say school.
School.
Because I feel like I've been stressed and anxious about school since I've been in school. I would say since elementary school.
So this isn't necessarily an issue that's heightened because you're in college or
no.
in grad school. It's an issue that you've dealt with since elementary school.
I would say.
And what worked in elementary school, middle school, or high school?
What worked? I would say just I guess throughout being in school, just planning everything out and just kind of focusing on what I need to get done on certain days, and just I always take deep breaths, and that always helps me calm down and just focus on what I need to do and not so much. I feel like I'm more future oriented, so I think about what is coming up and everything, what I need to focus on, what I need to do today, and not worry about next week or next month or everything, or end the semester or anything.
So in the past, it sounds like creating a to-do list for the day helps with your level of anxiety.
and I have a planner, so that helps me see like what is coming up, and I think about, oh, I need to worry about that until here, kind of thing. So I have like set kind of days I do certain things, I would say.
So at the moment, you're still using the tools that you had from elementary, middle, high school.
Mm-hmm.
However, you're still having the level of anxiety
Mm-hmm.
that for you is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. I feel like in that moment it works, but then when I do something else, I think, oh, I remember I have to do this and this, and it just like heightens my anxiety. Like if I go to bed and I think about, oh, I didn't do something, even though it's not due for like a couple days, and it's like I should do that kind of thing.
So for you, the keeping the planner works, and you said you were future oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever tried to use any technique that helps to keep you grounded in the present?
No, like I've tried mindfulness like once, and I couldn't like get into it.
Okay.
I guess it might have been like that moment, but I just didn't feel like it worked for me personally.
So you want to work on trying a technique that actually works in the moment, that may not look like the mindfulness technique that you use that you felt didn't work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell me what goes through your head when you wake up, let's say in the middle of the night, oh my God, I forgot I have this.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I just stay awake for like, I don't necessarily do what I need to do, because I'm like, it's the middle of the night, I'm not going to write a paper at like 3 a.m. But I just think about, oh, I need to do this tomorrow, and I need to like remind myself, kind of. So I might like get up and like write myself a note and everything just to do something. And then I have like a hard time like falling asleep because I think about, oh, I need to do this paper, and then
So your brain just starts running. It's on the treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
What I was going to suggest, you already mentioned, it sounds like you have great tools.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like what you have going on is more of a body response.
Mm-hmm.
So the tools are there, but your body feels like it's not letting you actually fully utilize those tools
Exactly.
that you have at your disposal.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not alone in the whole, you wake up and, oh my God, I forgot that I had this to do. And some people do sleep with their planner next to them, or in a journal, or a sticky note, and they just literally write it down so that when they wake up in the morning, they see it, so they don't have to necessarily remember it or think about it. So as far as how you are physically responding to the stress, what can you actually control?
So you're saying like physically, not like in my head.
Yeah, well, that your brain's part of your body.
True. Well, I feel like I pick at my nails and everything, and like the hair on my nails, and I've been trying for years, like to. I feel like that's how I kind of let it out.
Okay.
Like it's like sort of a distraction. Like I'm not doing it to feel like pain or anything.
Yeah.
It's just like something to do with my hands, I guess, and that kind of distracts me from thinking about what I need to do.
Okay.
Let's say.
So having your mind go somewhere else also is a tool. So mindfulness kind of works to settle your mind, and sometimes it helps to take you to a different place, depending on what mindfulness technique that you're using.
Right, I've only used it once, so I can't really say it. For me at that time, it didn't work, but I'm definitely open to using it. Different variations and everything of it.
So that's awesome to hear that you're open and you didn't necessarily cut it out or take it completely off the plate. Because that particular technique, it does help you to refocus and get recentered. So that's a good thing that you are making the choice not to take that off the table and adding that as a possibility for a technique that you can use to help keep your mind off focus. Or keep your mind on focus and off of the stuff that's in the future, and keeping yourself in the present. What do you do for fun?
For fun, I would say just like hang out with my friends. Like we went to the movies this past weekend, so that was nice because it takes my mind off school and like be with my family and my dog and like just like read a book that's not a textbook. So I feel like I buy all these books and then I don't read them because I'm in school reading textbooks.
Okay.
So just like finding the time to do like stuff for myself.
So is it finding the time or making the time?
I was making the
Yeah,
time.
because you do realize we have a whole 24 hours in a day, 8 of which, if we're getting enough sleep, we spend sleeping. The other hours, we get to decide how we choose to spend those other hours that we have. And yes, school sounds like it's really important to you. Spending time with your family and doing things that you really do enjoy also sounds really important to you. And gotta work. It sounds like you have to work. That's not necessarily an option not to work. So you have to make the choice to actually build in the downtime. So in your planner, do you build in downtime in your planner?
No, that is, I make it just for school. Like even like if I have like an event, not an event, but like a party or something, on like a Saturday, I'll write it on there. But it's like rare. It's mostly like test paper, everything kind of. So I feel like that would help.
When you look at your planner, does it give you anxiety when you look through it? Like, do you feel like, oh my god, I got all this stuff to do?
Not, I would say a little bit, but I feel like it's I'm very like organized, so it's like I know that's not I'm not missing anything. So it's
Except for
I know.
downtime.
Exactly. School wise, I'm not missing anything.
Yeah,
But
school wise,
exactly,
you
yeah.
got school all covered.
Exactly.
If I could make a suggestion to help you with the choice part, you may want to look at adding in choice into your day. So choosing to make downtime a necessity sounds like you might want to look at adding some scheduled downtime. If the planner works for you, that's awesome, that's amazing. Even if it's 30 minutes to give your brain a rest.
Definitely.
Give your brain a rest so that it's not necessarily like a distraction from what you have to do, but think of it more of a self-care. You caring enough about yourself to give yourself a break. Because what happens to the things that we use or the people we use all the time, they get tired and exhausted. And the idea is that if you are a student, sister, daughter, co-worker, you don't necessarily want to be in those capacities exhausted or tired. You want to be rejuvenated when you're around your family members. If you have to be around students or kids all day, you want to be excited when you're with them. Or at least you want to feel like you're rested and not anxious.
Exactly.
Living in the moment, is that important to you?
Yes, I feel like I've always been future oriented, so I feel like I kind of miss like what's going on. Like now, I'm just like, oh, I'm going on vacation next week or something. And I'm not focused on what I'm doing like right now for myself. And I'm just like I think about like those are like not milestones, but just like big things in my timeline when it's like I'm wasting these days like just focus on what I'm going to do next week or whatever. So I think that I need to do the present here and now.
So the choice that you're going to make is going to look like what? Or the choices you would like to make will look like what to help you get to the place where you can enjoy the moment or moments in your life versus looking in the future.
It's like what I would do.
And what do you see yourself being able to
okay.
do that would help you live in the moment? What choices could you make to help you live in the
I would
moment?
say definitely the planner, like putting like specific things just for like downtime, just even just writing like downtime, and that'll be more than what I had before. It doesn't have to be anything specific, just like reading a book or just like watching a Netflix show just for like 30 minutes, just so I can like laugh or do something besides writing a paper. And I think looking up different mindfulness like techniques that are like different than the one I used before, and just like seeing if that would help me like focus on here and now and everything. I feel like just like focusing on myself in general.